Opposite Sex, written by Marcus Westphal. As a child, Tommy is chastised by his father Ben for playing with girl dolls, even though his sister Katricia plays with boy dolls. Tommy's mother Mary points out the incongruity to her husband, and he has a change of heart. A number of years pass, and Tommy, Katricia, and their friends are now in high school. Tommy is ridiculed by his classmates after referring to a male friend as a boyfriend, even though the girls in the class routinely refer to their female friends as girlfriends. Tommy gets into a fight with a boy who is harassing him and ends up getting suspended by his teacher. Later, Tommy and his friend Wendell receive a verbal warning from the same teacher when Tommy sits on Wendell's lap because he cannot find another place to sit. The boys finally reveal this pattern of discrimination to their mothers, who bring it to the attention of the principal, who promptly fires the teacher. The replacement teacher also has issues with her students, though she's less biased when it comes to gender. She reprimands both Derek and his sister Tina when they come to class cross-dressed. Despite the challenges they face, all the kids graduate and move on to adult life. Tina and Derek both come out as homosexuals. Tina begins dating a former classmate named Angela, while Derek begins dating Tommy's brother Mike. At his bank job, Ben is reprimanded by his boss, first for calling a male coworker cute, which the man finds flattering and inoffensive, then later for using the women's restroom and for hugging a male customer who happened to also be his friend. Despite the fact that this is acceptable for female employees to do the exact equivalent of all these things, Ben is eventually fired by his supervisor. He fights back, taking his complaint up the management chain and finding little sympathy until he reaches the owner of the bank, who agrees that he was wrongly terminated and fires all of the middle managers who said otherwise. A number of the kids get jobs at a large department store. Derek and his brother Doug, who is straight, both work at the store and each get in trouble for the same sorts of infractions that we have already seen: calling other men cute, using the women's restroom or working in the women's department, sitting on each other's laps, and so forth. When they each show up to work dressed in women's clothing, their supervisor fires them. However, on the advice of Angela, who has become a lawyer, they decide to file a discrimination suit against the company. At the trial, the store owner attempts to threaten Doug and Derek into dropping the suit, and then intimidates his managers into lying on the stand, making the brothers out to be violent and irresponsible employees, and denying each instance of discrimination that they recount. However, their personal files and the extensive security tapes from the store reveal the truth of the matter, and the judge rules in Doug and Derek's favor. They get their jobs back and a cash settlement, while the managers will serve time for perjury, and the owner will serve additional time for making criminal threats. Later, when the whole group of friends is out celebrating with their significant others, they decide to go dancing at a club. They soon discover that while the management of the club has no problem with Tina and Angela dancing suggestively with each other, they object when Mike and Derek attempt to do the same. The entire group leaves in disgust. The following day, a bunch of them go to an adult film studio to shoot a few scenes and make a little bit of extra money. Unfortunately, they find that, like in the club, the company would allow the two girls to shoot a scene together, but they will not allow the two gay partners to have sex on film. Angered by these two consecutive events, they again go to court, filing a pair of suits against the managers of the two businesses, alleging discrimination based on gender and sexual orientation. After arguments are presented and much deliberation, the judge rules in the plaintiff's favor. The managers are not found at fault for following the policies dictated by the owner, but the owner is found liable for discrimination and suffers a multi-million-dollar penalty. Tired of suffering discrimination for his non-masculine tendencies, Derek decides that he wants to make his outside match his inside, and he uses his considerable gambling winnings from a recent trip to pay for a sex change operation. he begins to take hormone treatments, and prior to the procedure decides to break up with Mike, as afterwards he will no longer be a man, and obviously Mike is attracted to men rather than women. Mike is saddened by his declaration but accepts the decision. Derek undergoes the surgery and is reborn as Clara. Clara's friends and family accept her with open arms. Eventually, her sister Tina persuades her to try to get back together with Mike. Clara convinces him that he or she will still be the same person in all of the ways that matter, and they begin dating again. They eventually even get married in a huge joint ceremony with nearly all of the other couples in their circle of friends. Katricia spends time with a platonic female friend, but when they are alone together, the friend hits on her and reveals that she is gay. Katricia reaffirms her heterosexual preference and turns the friend away. The same thing happens not long after with Wendell and a male friend. Elsewhere, Doug and his wife Pam begin to have problems in their marriage. Learn more about what happens in this battle for equality in Two Women Are Opposite Sex.